So we have Moya here, who's a blockchain researcher. We have Summer Park, venture partner of Simsam Ventures. We have Shine Lee, the partner of GBIC. And we have Ian, who's an associate of Sexton. So today they will talk about their perspective as an investor and researcher and how they think about DeSci.
Hello everyone. Good to see you in person, although most of you live in Korea, it's hard to see you. All too busy, I guess. This investment in DeSci is a pretty new thing. I don't think that a lot of funding has actually happened so far, but I'd like to have you in this session because I want to ask, like, if you're investing in DeSci, what are the things that you look at, and what's your view about just future of DeSci, potential of the DeSci projects, and what you think, what are the things, key aspects of the things that you look into when you decide which kind of projects you want to fund. I mean, there are a lot of projects here. I think they're still in fundraising period. Like Hippocrates is already listed, we did TGE, so we don't really, but we went through all that ICO phase a long time ago, but I guess some of the projects here haven't done their token launch yet, so it'll be great if you can share your thoughts about what you're looking for when you like invest in a DeSci project. So my first question will be, what are the key factors you consider when you evaluate a DeSci project? And it'll be great if you can try to be concise and brief so that the next speaker can talk about. So maybe keep your answer in 2 to 3 minutes. Let's start with Moya.
Okay, so hi, my name is Moya. I'm an ex-co-founder of 4Pillars, crypto research company, and I skipped my university course to join this session. Okay, so back to the question. So I think it's like 3 key factors. So first is the most important, which is like, do the project really understand the need of academic researchers or institutions? So I see this as the most important thing. And the another thing I consider is, though this project has a sustainable PM, so it can last for at least like 10 years or like 15 years. And the last thing is that how closely they're working with the real academic researchers and the industry participants. So I think those kind of key factors are what I consider when evaluating the DeSci projects.
Hello, my name is Summer. I'm Chief Investment Officer at Simsam Ventures Korean branch. Simsam Ventures is London-based real estate deep tech venture capital. And for us, we think investment is really about backing the right people. So that's why I'm here. And when I evaluate the DeSci project, I focus on how well it uses blockchain technology well. Because I get a lot of questions from LPs, limited partners. They always ask me, okay, so the blockchain technology, we really need this technology for this product or for this service. So it's really important to show them the blockchain isn't just there, but it actually serves the real problem in research.
Sure. Hi everyone. I'm Shin-Hye Lee, and partner at the GBIC. I personally invest in a lot of projects since 2017 in Web3, including Aether, who just presented, and ZetaChain, or like Mistinlet Sui, or my passion is also in the GameFi side, so I'm investing in a lot of projects in GameFi and Metaverse, such as Big Time Studio, Decentraland, Data Labs, or Shrapnel, and etc. So I have to admit that I'm not the best DeSci investor. I'm more a general investor. I'm here because of Ethan invite me. But to be honest, I think when I evaluate the DeSci project, it should not be different from like evaluating any other project. So for me, when I invest in the project, a few things really do matter. Number one, of course, team and the background. So as you just mentioned, I think it's really important to understand whether the team or the advisor, they have a background in blockchain and scientific field for this case, and whether they can actually bring partnerships to make the real use cases. So for example, partnership with the real institutions or academia or even the scientific journals. So I think these kind of background do really matter. And second, I want to be more specific on the blockchain technology, means I look at the tokenomics. So to be honest, I don't think all the projects need their own tokens. So I'm gonna ask the same question, like how your tokens gonna really enable the growth of your ecosystem. Is it gonna really help you to either manage the fund or peer review process, or how the token can facilitate collaboration of different stakeholders. So I think the team background and the tokenomics is really important.
Thank you. My name is Ian. I'm from Saxon, so basically UK based, so I think only the foreigner here. So happy to bring that point of view. So we've been here for more than 5 years now. We get 3 main pillars in Saxon. We get Saxon Nodes, where we provide validators, and we get as well Saxon Advisory, where we help founders how to raise capital and manage the ecosystem, and then we get the Saxon Ventures Hub. So my key points mainly is how to structure and find DeSci project. I think we like to separate it into 3 components. So basically you have the core product, then the token product, and the investment product. So the core product we like to, which is the foundation for DeSci projects, and you can use it for any DeSci or anything. But in DeSci we separate it with the core product, which brings basically transparency, and then we also have collaboration, which is important between scientists and how to do research and improvement, and then how everything brings on the improvement on the research methodology of science. So once we have a strong foundation there, we then look for a strong tokenomics, which my partner's been talking about. And then the third part, which is the investor side, if they have a strong and new foundation of investments, it can be in algorithms, in AI, or new ways to invest in funding to basically help those projects in data or AI or science to basically push this new innovation for scientists.
Thank you. It's your answers are most organized of all the panels. What are the most promising blockchain innovations or technologies you're actually looking into, like when you're investing or when you're thinking about investing in projects? Like what are the fields of new technologies that you guys are keeping an eye on at the moment?
You mean related to DeSci space?
Yeah, related to DeSci space, but it could be general too.
Okay, so personally, I'm very currently interested in zk-TLS. This is some kind of, one liner for zk-TLS is you can make an API call without the website is opening the API. So you can just generate a zk proof of the website's information. For example, from Instagram, you can just generate a proof that I own this account, without Instagram opening the API. So except for that, I really think zk is important for DeSci spaces because privacy is kind of hard for on-chain transactions, which in contrast, healthcare privacy is really important thing. But except for that, it may be a hot take, but I don't think there's much need for additional technological improvement in blockchain infra. For example, in contrast to DeSci, which 100,000 of transactions could incur a second, I don't think DeSci could have those kind of scalable issues. So although the last panel was about scroll mode and layer ones, I don't think, there were great projects, but I don't think what kind of stopped DeSci from mass adoption is technological problem.
Excuse me, guys. Can you actually turn the noise down? There is actually a networking room in the back if you want to talk and network, so that people can focus more on the panel session. Thank you.
Actually, I'm also a researcher who is actually studying blockchain, writing papers, and publishing in journals. So for me, the most exciting innovation I expect in this space is decentralized peer review. So traditional peer review system, this is very, very slow and working in transparency. We have to just accept the video from nobody. Yeah, and then we just accept their opinion and review. So, but with blockchain, the peer review system can be more open and accountable, and everybody can be acceptable, right? So yes, the decentralized peer review system is one of the most I expect from this space.
Yeah, I kind of agree what Boyd mentioned. I don't think we really need more, and of course it would be nice to have better technology, but I think what we are lacking right now in the industry is real use cases, because some of my investor friends, we are making a joke and saying that there are more L1 and L2 than actual users. So I totally agree with that point. But I guess based on what Summer and Moe mentioned, I think blockchain technology can help the design or scientific fields in many ways. So for example, funding across the border, and also peer review, or even the fund management as well, and also contributions to different contributors. So how to allocate the benefit to the different contributors. And I think DAO might be a really good solution for this side. So if we have more like DAO tooling that has better UX UI for a lot of scientists, journalists, or even like the big institution in scientific field can work together, I think DAO tooling might be a really good addition for the design field.
Yeah, I'll add that on top of all the answers from my partners here. Mostly I think, so what could be innovative in the design space and what we've seen lately, it's mostly I think the DeepIn and AI. These past 6 months, apart from the meme cycle, basically AI and DeepIn has been building a strong foundation this year, and we've been seeing basically those two compartments and DeSci helping on the convergence of those two verticals, where DeepIn basically helps data and hardware, and AI helps analyzing data and doing, stuff like around the basically making decision making, and having DeSci on top of it helps a strong convergence, and then build up a new platform for scientific innovation on top of that. Yeah. And having blockchain, of course, having transparency and security.
Thank you. Next question will be, what kind of advice would you give to DeSci projects raising funds? And what are the key elements of DeSci that would be appealing to investors? I guess in general, like VCs are looking for projects that are like solving problems that are big enough to scale, I guess. So what are the problems you think are hand in hand for DeSci space in general? It's very new narrative, so I think we're shaping it on the way. But so there are many ways of interpreting what could be considered as a DeSci project. But I want to hear your thoughts about that.
So first of all, I'm not a VC, so I'll just say my understanding as just a researcher who's studying DeSci projects. So for me, it would be really important for projects to really showcase that they really solve at least one academic researcher's real pain point. So if they could show that at least they can solve one person's problem, that will be really interesting for me that, oh, this is the project that I should really focus on and research more about. And another thing is that as the other partner has mentioned, if the team or advisors has background in academia, for example, if they're professors or PhD who really feel that pain point in their real life, I think that will be another point that will make, oh, this project would be worth to research for.
Okay, so for this project looking for investment, I think it's very crucial to have demonstrable real use cases. Almost every venture capitalist, actually they don't know about what DeSci is. They really don't know about what blockchain is, even. So they really want to see what your solution works in the real world. For example, one of our portfolio company named Crowd Invest, which is based in London. They have in their RWA business, not this I want, but so they are tokenized the unlisted startups shares to enhance liquidity. So when they speak to us first time, it was really easy to understand, and then they showed us a real traction. Yeah, so my partners, they actually don't know about the blockchain very well, but it was very easy for us. So yeah, so it can be a good example for investment.
If you are a DeSci project founder, when you talk to the investor, I think it's really important to bring the real use cases, like how you actually work with the academia or big research institutions, and how these partnerships can solve the real world problem. Because to be honest, I've been in the industry for the last 6 or 7 years. There are keywords here and there, and it seems like DeSci, RWA, DePIN, they're all kind of newer, but if you are thinking about it, RWA is just another STO that people talk about like 5 years ago. And then DePIN is another trend word that people want to use to pump the projects. That's IoT, exactly, IoT mining. So if DeSci, like word itself, can bring, if DeSci want to bring a real meaning to the industry, you have to bring real use cases. That's my expectation. And second, I don't want to sound mean, but a lot of academia, or including DeSci, people think that people sometimes confuse donation grants versus investment. So if you are approaching like foundation for grants, you can probably have different perspectives. But if you are approaching investor like VC, who need to make the money for their LPs, you have to bring the proper economics. You have to explain how this token can be used for the ecosystem, how it's structured, that it's not only for inflation, but that you have to have deflation mechanism, for example, and how you are gonna structure between the division between like the stakeholders, communities, investors, marketing. You have to think through how you are structuring the economics. So basically, you have to bring, to summarize in a nutshell, you have to bring real use cases. And then second, you have to have very clear tokenomics to convince your investor, in my opinion. Of course, you have to solve the real problem, your team has to be big enough, great team and everything, but I guess a lot of academia people forget that these 2 points are very important for the private VCs.
Thank you. So yeah, this question is very attached to the first question, and I think we in Saxon would like to respect those 3 main points, which are the core product, tokenomics product, and then the investor side. So once if you're a founder and you want to build in the DeSci environment, we recently watched and looked this project called The Innovation Game. I don't know if you guys heard. Basically, they're a similar product to BitTensor, but using and solving machine learning for climate science or even biomed research and other real use cases. And so each one can contribute, and basically research papers, transparency is there, and then once you have solved, you're basically rewarded by token. And as well with this innovation protocol, they are connected with other business developments and have IP connected with them to be basically having a real inflection of a business cycle. So it's very important to have to focus on transparency, collaboration, to make sure there's strong collaboration around the world to solve those challenges and make sure there's rewards around that, and have a strong business model with government or any pharmaceutical companies that you're attached to it. And I think you'll go along the way and go through the ups and downs of the market.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, coming from the founder's perspective, it's very difficult to structure token economics that satisfy everyone, VCs, partners, and like just normal holders, like people buying in the market. Everybody wants the upside, but sometimes that's not how it works. And I think it's very difficult to build token utility if you're at that project. A token utility enough so that there's enough token getting deflated at the same time you have a new token given out as incentives. That's a big challenge.
Then my opinion is you should not launch tokens. Why, if there's no utility, why you have to have the tokens? You can just use point system, you can use this payment system, whatever that exists in the real world.
I agree. True. Yeah, I guess token is in a way a reflection of the future possible utility. That's how it actually works. Not a lot of tokens out there, even the mainnet tokens actually have utility that they promise to be. So a lot of the token value actually reflects the hype and expectation of how the token will be used in the future, not at the present. That's why it's very difficult to keep the price up. There is a lot of method that people use to keep the price up, and there's also the two types of that, I guess, in when you're running a Web3 project: building an actual product, and also building trust about price, what the illusion or actually what it looks like as a value in the particular token. So I'd like, if there's any advice that you could give out to potential token TGE projects, like in terms of the token economics, what are the key points you think you'd like advice for them to incorporate in their token economics?
Just as a retail investor, first make money and just post fund the TG as far as you can before your runaway gets out. That's my point.
What if you need to make your run away from the token?
That's what VC is for, right?
Okay, Summer?
Actually, for traditional venture capitalists, the token is really interesting tool. Yeah, because in the previous times there was token at all. Yeah. And then it's not just virtual money, it's a lot more, it's very complicated and difficult. And so we expect a more tokenized project because it's very interesting. And then, yes, like you said, the token economics is very difficult, and it can be very helpful at the same time. It can be a tragic for the project. So many founders, they are thinking about their token economics, or even, like Sina said, okay, we don't need it, or something like that. Yeah, but I, as a venture capitalist, I still want to see more projects utilizing tokenomics.
Well, I guess it really depends on the project, to be honest. It depends on how they use their token and how they design the tokenomics. So I don't think there is just one single very clear answers. In my opinion, I think you have to define what this token is for. Is it for the governance? Is it for like making decision process much easier and transparent? Is it for real utility? Is it to incentivize your community members or the early participants? Or is it just to make your VC rich? Or
Or myself.
or yourself. So, I mean, of course, you want to achieve multiple goals, but as you even mentioned that it's not easy. But I think you at least have to have one or two very clear the objective or the use cases for the tokens. But just stepping back, I think another most important thing is, of course, it really depends on the purpose. But I think like deflation model is something that you really have to look at, because I've been seeing a lot of projects failing. Because number one, there is no business model, so there is no way that they sustain the project other than either like raising more funds or two, selling their team tokens. So I think it's really important to figure out your business model, and hopefully tokens deflation model can align the business model. And I think that's one of the probably critical way to structure the economics.
Thank you.
Just to make sure, is it pre-TG or post-TG, the question?
Why don't you touch both?
Good point. Great. So, basically, coming back as well to Sam on terms of tokens, I think it's definitely an innovation in terms of also raising capital, because before, like, for VCs, like, it was also brand new to raising in equities back in the day. So raising now in this stage of era is raising tokens is new innovation, much more in depth, bringing new economics in there, and really pushing the founders to be more creative within their business. So that's the interesting part, and not just in basically doing new terms of revenue. It's really pushing founders creativity ways on how to bring users to power as well, and bringing more business technology to it. For founders then, on how to be more creative in terms of bringing value to the token, pre-TGE, I mean, there's many ways. There's point system, of course, and as well, like, I think what we're seeing more and more, depending on the project, like you do node sell, but as well, there's more and more of speculation of the token price on pre-market TGE, which bring basically users to have more intention and to capture more value to those early users, and then be rewarded after TGE. So that's one part of pre-TGE market strategy. And then we have after TGE, where, well, what we're seeing right now is conferences, marketing, and I think that's the most hardest one is post-TGE, is then how to basically capture another user interface that is not Web3, and that's that's the most hardest and challenging. We're still facing that, but really depending on where the country you are and how users and how is it a play to earn type of stuff. It's still how fast or how can you bring stickiness, and that's I think we're all in this question on what's the best solution at the moment for crypto, and yeah, we're basically all trying to solve that problem right now that we're going through this cycle.
Thank you everyone for your insights. Yeah, I believe that token is a very complex asset in the sense that it represents your stake in the community. At the same time, it's a currency that you can use to enjoy certain utility from that particular project, and it also acts as like a public stock, so that it works very similar to public companies share with go up and down for because of the hype around it, not because of the fundamentals sometimes. So yes, thank you all for your thoughts and sharing your opinions. Everyone, please give them a round of applause for participating in this panel. Thank you.